Hello, everyone. This is the Easy Allies podcast. I am your moderator, Kyle Bossman, and joining us this week is Michael Huber.
Hello.
Daniel Bloodworth.
I'm on a podcast.
And I'm Brendan Jones.
How you doing?
I'm doing great, Jones. Thanks for asking. Let us do our goals. Huber, what's your goal this week?
Let's talk about Shenmue.
Just bring it up?
Yep, it's been too long.
All right. Bloodworth, what's your goal this week?
I'm going to reference something from GDC.
Ooh, nice. Jones, what's your goal this week?
To give you a rim shot.
Ooh. Jones, I would love a rim shot. That's my goal, too. My goal is to, at no point throughout this podcast, shrug my shoulders and say, beats me. I don't want to see it. Let's begin corrections. Begin corrections music, please. Pocket Rumble doesn't look like a Wonder Swan game. It looks like a Neo Geo Pocket Color game. Stardew Valley already has co-op on PC. In Japan, The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds is called The Legend of Zelda: Triforce of the Gods 2. It is a direct sequel to A Link to the Past in Japan.
Wow.
Crazy. You can rent single games on PlayStation Now. It is pronounced Sauron? Sauron. It's pronounced Sauron and Balrog.
That one I didn't understand.
We're not sure on that one.
Balrog.
Here's what I like. One of the many misconceptions about Sauron is that he is the Eye. He is not the Eye.
Oh.
He actually sits in the tower and just chills throughout the whole trilogy of books. How funny is that? This cool guy in a suit of armor never battles. He just sits in the tower the whole time, Huber?
Sick.
Huber nods at me emphatically. That's bad.
I kind of want to look that up, but
Yeah, I could have sworn.
He's just hanging. He's just chilling
I
the whole time.
don't feel like he is in physical form.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure.
They say he is.
I'm
The
pretty
comments
sure
say he is.
I'm pretty sure the Peter Jackson Fellowship prologue where he comes down and is like kind of like fan servicey.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
It's fan servicey. What do you mean by that?
I think. I don't know because I just read The Hobbit, so I'm actually kind of getting them confused. So
Okay.
Forget what I'm saying.
All right.
Forget what I'm saying.
But yeah, skeptical about that. Because I
Don't
thought
be
that was like, I
skeptical.
thought that was like a
I dug into a lot of
spiritual
that stuff.
representation
Oh,
of him.
that's a slimy can of worms we just popped open.
no.
Yeah,
All right, let us
Well,
know.
because I'll tell you why.
Correction
Because
is the correction.
because the person who illustrated the correction did not say why. Where are you getting that from? Did Tolkien say that in an interview?
There were two
Is
separate
that,
corrections
Is
that
that
said
in between
he's-
the lines in the actual text? Is that where did you find out about that?
He's just
Is that
hanging
like
out in the
Dumbledore
tower.
being gay? Where like we didn't find out until like 2 years later, or
Jones, it is in the text. It is
all right?
textual.
That's what I want to know.
Okay.
If we yeah.
I gotta trust it.
Tolkien invented lore.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that's one of those things where like I could kind of go halfway on, right?
lore.
Like
No!
Yes.
No!
with appendices,
invented
kind
lore.
of.
Spoken legends invented lore. Lore invented lore.
Tolkien,
But-
baby. That's the origin.
Oh.
But yeah, so like saying that like he is not the Eye, I could sort of see.
It's,
Of
yeah,
course,
it's
I agree with
but
that, yeah.
He's just hanging out, like looking
But
through
yeah,
that.
That's like his
to
telescope,
see
yeah.
that like he's just a dude sitting in a tower, like
Yeah.
no.
Because remember, there's the mouth too. The mouth of Sauron.
Oh my gosh, we gotta
It's
move
like a
on.
physical.
The corrections
It's like a
music is
gatekeeper
still
that
going
comes.
on this
Yep.
entire time.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Let's go through the entire Blaster Master franchise. Blaster Master on NES. Blaster Master Boy on Game Boy. Blaster Master 2 on the Genesis.
That I didn't know about.
Blaster Master Enemy Below on Game Boy Color. Blaster Master
Wow.
Blasting Again on PlayStation 1.
Of course, that's a PS1 title.
That
Blasting
is so
again.
bad.
Yes.
Blaster Master Overdrive on Wii, and
Remember that.
this week's Blaster Master Zero on Switch and 3DS. And finally, last week I neglected to bring up GameFly and Redbox when we're talking about opportunities for renting games and things like that. And I feel bad.
Redbox is the one, basically.
Yeah, that's a legit thing. End of corrections music, please. Now, Jones, before we even start the podcast, I have something I would like for you to read.
Oh my.
We have a great deal of research that has been done in regards to finding the origin of Rufus,
Yes.
the songwriter of Rufus. It is still a mystery. However, Emily, aka Turbo Girl on Twitter, I think it might be Turbo Girl 16. Anyway, just said Turbo Girl there. Has done a lot of work for us, a lot of groundwork, and had an inside track onto this.
Amazing.
It's a lot to read, Jones. I want you to read this entire thing.
Great.
I know that you love mystery shows, and so I think you might be into this. If you could read this as a roving detective,
Oh.
I would really appreciate this.
Okay. It's like
That's-
a Sam Spade kind of a.
I don't know who Sam Spade is.
It's like it was kind of like Max Payne. How he reads like it was a dark and stormy night.
Yeah, you don't have to be gruff.
Showed up at the crime scene.
Actually, it might be interesting. You want to be gruff, dude?
I can be gruff.
Okay.
Hi, allies. Unfortunately, my search to discover the origins of the Love and Respect song has hit a wall. After being put in contact with Hasbro, they told me that Tiger Electronics only kept molds records for their mainline toys. Happy Meal toys were limited and mass-produced in China. They were throwaway. Ian had the right idea, though. The first thing was to establish whether the toy was based on something. It wasn't. It was part of a grab bag action collection for McDonald's, where each toy was a random action of something. So it wasn't based on anything, not a TV show or any particular artist. Each toy in the collection was completely random. He's only playing jazz because it's an action, I guess. Seriously, take a look at the collection. The other toys are weird.
Okay. No, there's more.
My contact at Hasbro said that from experience, if a toy isn't based on something, chances are the music is completely made up by the artist.
Yes.
Just a random jingle they made up on the fly, especially for something as small as a Happy Meal toy. Of course, the artist can have influences or things that inspire the melody, but without talking to the artist directly, it would be impossible to know. But the fact that it's a random toy not based on anything, chances are that it was probably an original melody. He also said they tend to not copy other songs' melodies from mass-produced toys, so unless it's a licensed toy based on a property, it's going to be an original song.
Mm-hmm.
I know this isn't the answer we were looking for, and it's a bummer. But this particular Happy Meal toy really was random mass-produced, and without the records of who worked on it, it would take a random person stumbling on the song if it's based on another song. But on the bright side, the toy actually now does have an identity and means something to a lot of people. What was once a random jingle or throwaway toy now means love and respect. And so, I guess in that way, the song is now based on the Allies and this amazing community. I hope this can bring you guys some closure. Who knows? Maybe the artist that made it will one day stumble upon all the Allies using it for something else and speak out. I wish we could have gotten more of a conclusion, but at least we now know the exact code number for the toy, which collection it came out in, the exact date it came out, and lastly, that it wasn't commissioned to be based on something else, which increases the chances that everything is all original. Love and respect, Emily Turbo Girl.
Wow.
Yes.
That
Amazing.
Here's the thing.
That's even better.
I don't have closure. We have to find the artist.
Well, I can sleep tonight for sure, but I mean,
I have to know
it is unsettling.
Who made this Furby.
I love it. I love that Rufus has a mysterious past.
Yes. That Hasbro doesn't even keep track.
Right. So
That
with all of that, there's not like a name of this one. It's just like Furbies, and then it's just a random color.
I think it's Furby number 7.
Okay.
Shoot, I forget what the actual. Yeah, we should say off the code name, but I mean, there's a toy designer out there who apparently designed the toy and created the tune all in one go.
It was a whole thing. He looked at him, and
Yes.
that's what came out.
Or she.
The funny
right,
thing-
of course.
Jones!
It sounds like such a familiar thing too. Like I could have sworn it's just like some pirate song from whatever. You know?
It apparently is not. I think if the song existed anywhere else, somebody would have heard it. I feel like our audience is like, we can find this. We can spread.
We can do this.
We can find the person who designed this toy. And I thought honestly, McDonald's employed toy designers, and apparently it's Hasbro who made at least this one in particular.
High budget.
Yeah,
Hasbro toys.
Jones, what's wrong?
One thing I respect about Kind of Funny is Kind of Funny's really good at bringing in big people. Like Kind of Funny Live 2, Cisco comes out on stage, sings a Pokemon song.
Yeah.
They have connections to a lot of big celebrities, and that's definitely an initiative for them to try to get people on their podcast, be a part of Kind of Funny, to know who they are.
Sure.
This is our mission.
Right. I do not want Dwayne The Rock Johnson on our stuff.
I do.
Okay.
Come
yes,
on.
you're right. I would
The
love
Rock.
for him. Yes.
If
You're
you
right.
could
Any professional wrestler.
Yeah.
I know John Cena's really into games.
Is he really into games? He
Yeah.
did that
No.
Switch thing?
No.
Oh.
The true gamer is AJ Styles.
Whoa.
And Xavier Woods.
I mean, he's a big Nintendo fan at least.
Wow.
But
I trust Huber on this.
Go, yeah.
He said no. He straight up said no.
No. Cena? No.
No.
No cred. No street cred.
Let's talk about the Switch. This is what I want to start off with. Switch had a pretty good week. Had some bad stuff too. We're going to cover it all.
Sure.
But it's the news of the hour. A new Nintendo console, a new video game console is here. What I want to begin with is what I think is the biggest deal. And I don't like to talk about Metacritic. I don't like to talk about numbers of review scores. I don't like to do that normally. However, we have an anomaly. We have something this week that I thought would never happen again. Games barely break 90s anymore. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is one of the best reviewed games of all time. Of all time. It's got a 98 on Metacritic, which makes it fourth.
8?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fourth of all time behind GTA 4, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, and number 1 is Ocarina of Time. Wow. On OpenCritic, it's got a 97. It's the top 0.0 of all video games, which means that in the year that OpenCritics existed, is it 2? It's like a year and a chunk. It's the number 1 game.
Do we have couple recent releases like GTA 5 or Witcher where they stand?
I don't know where they stand, Huber. They're beneath it.
Yeah, wow.
They're beneath it. It's number 1 on game rankings all time. Again, 98.14, I think is what it was. It's at 98 point something. The best reviewed game of all time on GameRankings.com. That's crazy. You know I don't like to get into the little nitty-gritty and just talk about meta scores and things like that. What happened?
They took 6 years to make a video game.
Do you think that's a factor?
No, I mean, that's not the only factor. I mean, GTA 5 took about the same amount of time.
Sure. I mean, that'll definitely make a really good game. And I think also there was the period once they realized what the launch schedule was for the Switch and they were going to hold it off for the Switch.
Sure.
That they just had... I mean, they didn't clean up that frame rate, but, I think they had time to really get in there and...
Don't brush that off. Let's talk about that. This game has frame rate issues.
It does.
Yeah.
And bless Amanda, I love her. Like, she's running through the forest. And I'm like, do you see that? See the frame rate? She's like, no. I'm like, don't... Really? Like, that's the difference when you turn towards the forest or when you turn towards the mountain? Like, you didn't notice? Some people, not a big deal.
There's really only one thing that I want to say. One important point about this game is...
don't you spoil a thing, Hubert.
There's going to be no spoilers.
Okay, there will be no spoilers, by the way. We are strictly talking about this.
I will beep him out in editing if I have to.
Yeah.
No, I really hit the wall with open world games in the last year or two. Like, this major fatigue. Everyone's doing these open world games. I felt like The Witcher 3 was kind of the end of the open world era for me. I was like, all right, this is... Like, let's start going in a new direction. Maybe go back to, like, action platformers or something.
Uh-huh.
I just felt the open world fatigue. And somehow playing this game... feels so new and exciting and it is like a Deus Ex situation where I look at video games differently now. Yeah, because even in The Witcher, I was talking to Jones about this. Even in The Witcher, like open world games are still pulling me in a direction. I'm playing Horizon. Mm-hmm. I'm opening up the menu and I'm checking boxes. I'm looking at things. I'm like, oh, gotta go over there and do this. Gotta go over there and do this. Zelda right now, despite having quests, is just go and let everything happen and play as you will.
So here's my question to you. Here's my question.
And I don't know how they did it. They perfected the open world formula. It doesn't feel like a checklist or a chore. So nothing.
When you hear that this is one of the best reviewed games of all time, you say it deserves it.
I haven't finished it yet. I can't make a bold statement like that.
Sure.
But initially, I'm like, wow, this is doing something different and perfecting a genre. Mm-hmm. So I'm definitely open to the fact that it could be one of the best games of all time.
Blood, are you surprised?
I was completely surprised. Like, yeah, people are going to be hard on games, especially a game that's like that, that's like not on the cutting edge of graphics and that kind of thing to blow you away in that way. It's, it really is like it all comes down to the game design and how all that works. Yeah, it's kind of shocking, it's and like that first day, like all that backlash that we got because Damiani gave it like the little bit less than perfect.
He gave it 4.5 stars.
Yeah, 4.5 out of 5. Like people are gonna come at us now because it's the lowest thing that exists.
A 90. A 90 is like that's bad. That's a bad score. That is crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And I'm kind of like where Huber is too. Like, I'm so early in that game that like I can see the design aspects that like gets it there, but like I haven't seen enough of the variety to like really like cement it in my mind and like being in that place. But I definitely would like it to be for sure, and I can see it happening if I keep getting this sense of discovery and things that just seem so small. Mm-hmm. Okay. But it just kind of works.
Like not keeping not a spoiler.
It's a spoiler. Don't do it.
I'm just saying.
Don't say what you're about to say.
No, it's not. Like, okay,
you can't talk about it without.
I promise this is not.
Okay.
It doesn't keep track of like how many things out of how many things you have.
Sure.
Which also helps it not feel like a checklist and artificial.
Sure.
It intentionally doesn't tell you things to just let it flow.
Humor me though. Here we go.
Yeah.
If this came out on the Wii U, do you think it would have reviewed as well?
Oh, if it didn't come out on the Switch.
I think it got a little Switch bump.
Possibly.
Sure. I don't know if that would have translated into review scores. It's definitely translating into hype. There's no question.
Because I think of game trailers, the Xbox One and the PS4 launch, and those games got hit. Because I think the expectations were higher on a new console.
Like Killzone.
Like
Killzone Shadowfall. Just got right through the
Shadowfall
sure.
and Knack and Dead Rising and Rise, Son of Rome.
You're right. Those all had pretty
like
not
those
great
aren't
reviews.
Those aren't Zelda level games, but I still feel like a new console launches and maybe the expectations are a little.
So that's
higher.
how you would refute it. You would say, no, a new console doesn't necessarily get good reviews.
Yeah.
Humor me on this. Does Zelda get to rest on its laurels a little bit? Does it get to? It does change things a lot, but does it absolutely just like a character can just go, "Oi"?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, that's fine.
Yes. I would actually. I would like to posit a complaint I have against The Legend of Zelda. Something that I don't think is that great in this game, and that's the voice acting is not good.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't think it adds to the game. I think the performances are bad.
I really wanted Japanese
I think
voice acting.
I think the first person you meet, the first character you meet that speaks to you is awful. I think it is a bad casting and a bad performance.
So then, Jones, explain the score to me. Explain it being one of the best reviewed games of all time.
Because voice acting is not a lot. It's not the majority of communicating with NPCs you will do in this game is not voice acting. Voice acting makes up, I'd imagine, 1% of all of the interactions you will have with characters.
I think that's a good point.
And so it's like literally that one character, that whole scene that you have with that character, they explain all of this stuff, pales in comparison to bumping into them in the open world and having them go, oh, oh. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, hi. It's like, like that had so much more charm, like just those little
I think it would have reviewed worse if it was fully voice acted.
Oh, man. They wouldn't have done it. I don't think Nintendo knows how to do that.
Yes, they do. They know how to do that.
To make a fully voiced cutscene, I don't think they have the experience.
Sure.
Name the game. Name the story-driven Nintendo game.
We did this. It's Xenoblade. A lot of people talk about Xenoblade Chronicles, and a lot of people talk about Kid Icarus.
Okay.
That's where.
But I mean, Xenoblade was very similar. I mean, there was more cutscenes, but it was still similar into where, like, once you got to like an NPC in a town,
it's just like
you would read it.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't think they had the sound effect like Zelda does.
Hi.
Especially if it's a franchise that's never done it, and then all of a sudden you just flip that VO switch.
Sure.
Yeah. I think I'm baffled.
But Xenoblade, like, I saw Ben's streams, and it's like, oh yeah, that voice acting's still pretty good.
I was so nervous. That the reviews would be too harsh on Zelda. That in this new era we live in, that nobody beats a 90, nobody breaks above a 90. I was really nervous that it would be treated poorly. I'm shocked the other way. I'm shocked that it's treated this well, frankly. Frame rate apparently is not important. Though, I mean, we can go into this.
It happens more in the beginning, and that's kind of the general consensus that everyone has talked about.
It happens in the entire game. It happens in the entire game.
I haven't seen anything that I've played so far that looks like the shots Damiani used in the review.
It'll come. But here's the thing. If you're playing on handheld mode, you'll never see those dips.
Yeah. And I think that's the frustrating thing is that the Switch is, I mean, any Nintendo console has interesting tech going on. So for them to sell this whole interesting tech, and then we're going to release this game that we've worked on for 6 years, and it doesn't run all that great.
Yeah.
It's kind of, you're like, what would it take? Especially considering, I think the game is gorgeous. I mean, I think the art style, I think, holds up throughout the entire world. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you put that up against anything, against even Ghost Recon Wildlands. And it's like, I was just driving around Ghost Recon this weekend, like, oh, what if, what if that looked like this and ran like this?
Yeah.
So that's a little frustrating.
Wouldn't matter, though. It wouldn't matter. If the game ran better, it would not get better reviews. Isn't that ridiculous? I don't think it would be.
I would have gotten one from Damiani for sure.
I just think at the end of the day, when you encounter so many things in a game that you've never encountered before in any other game, when you see a game, set something up. I think the main victim. And granted, I've played 5 seconds of this game. I've watched Amanda play a lot of it, and I think one of the things that impresses me the most is even in the open world games I love, even in GTA 5, which I love.
Me too,
I was kind of rolling my eyes at people when they came out. When people checked out GTA 5 for the first time, they're like, "Oh my god, they recreated LA." And I'm like, "No. What? No, no. Like Venice isn't even there." It's like this is not, they're like, it's 1-to-1. I'm like, it's 1-to-100. This is not like you can drive from one side of LA to the other.
Really good. Though,
You're rolling your eyes at the world of GTA 5?
No, I'm rolling my eyes at people that play GTA 5 and think it's literally Los Angeles. They're like, "Oh, look, I could go find my house." Like, the odds are extremely slim. You can find anything personal to you other than major landmarks in GTA 5. I don't need it to be that, but again, when it came out, all these people got all excited about it, and we're like, "Oh, they totally recreated California." Whereas, like, the scale of this game is just incredible. How the distance between objects, like how far it actually takes for you to get from one thing to another, which I think a lot of open world games are scared to do because they're like, "I don't want to have you riding on your horse for an hour."
Yeah.
And Zelda's like, "Ride for an hour, get there,"
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is that I've seen multiple people say now is like, even though there are horses, there seems to be like so much to do and play around with that like a lot of people are like, I'll just stay on foot.
I'm the same way.
Same way. Yeah.
Don't want to miss anything.
Want to make it clear, I'm trying to pry as a podcast moderator. I'd easily give this game a 10. This is a 10 out of 10.
I called Brad. I was like, this is the easiest 10 of all time.
Easiest 10 of all time.
Easiest 10 of all time.
Yep. Easy 10.
Yep.
Drop those frames all you want.
Drop them.
I'll eat it alive.
Drop them.
I'll drink it like soup. I'm ready to play more. That is crazy. I did want to remark on that. One of the best reviewed games of all time came out as a Switch launch title.
Congratulations to the team and everybody. Good job.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I get why it was their E3. Now,
yes.
Like, okay.
You're right.
Because I think it was done. Honestly, I think they went into E3 and like this game was finished. Like, this game's just been sitting on a shelf for a little bit.
I can't wait for this conversation when all of us have beat it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we're all just like,
gosh.
Yeah, look forward to that. There will be talk when we can remark on spoilers and everything like that. For the sake of the conversation, I did not want to. Jones, I want to talk about the success of the Switch. It's strange. The article's not been published yet, but the author of it has. Nick Wingfield of the New York Times had an interview with Reggie Fils-Aimé, president of Nintendo of America.
But wait, it hasn't been published yet? What are you quoting it for?
His tweets. He sent out a series of tweets in advance of the article going out.
Building up the hype.
Switch had the best 2-day launch of any Nintendo console in the Americas ever.
Nice.
Zelda.
So that's the thing. Like, I haven't heard this stuff, so like I've been waiting to see like what do I even compare this to?
Yes.
Because it's like the store shelves are bare, but that doesn't mean anything if there's no stock.
Yeah. What sucks is by the time this podcast is published, that article will probably be out.
Sure.
Numbers will probably be published soon. Zelda, the best standalone launch title of all time for Nintendo, defeating Super Mario 64.
Nice.
Dethroned. So as John said, I think E3 proved it was worth it. Zelda is one of the best reviewed games of all time, sold extremely well. The Switch, sales-wise, is a success. Was it worth it to delay Zelda to the launch of the Switch?
We're not going to know until like April. We're not going to know until E3.
I think we can say right now it was worth it. I think we can say right now is the right business decision to delay that game.
I personally would not own a Nintendo Switch.
Yep.
If you remove Zelda from that launch lineup.
Yeah.
Oh, right. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's less about was it worth it. I think it obviously helped the Switch launch. I think at the end of the day it was good.
Yeah.
But like long term, as far as their huge business plan, is this smart? Having something really exciting to talk about every 2 months, and then just if something goes, we get back into that period we were with 3DS for a while and Wii U, where it's like, what's happening?
Oh, we'll be feeling it when we got Mario Kart 8. It's like, okay.
I really like the system itself. Like when Wii U came out, I did not like the gamepad at all.
Yeah,
I
sucked.
just did not like it.
It sucked from the beginning.
I was like, this thing is stupid.
Yeah.
I'm not into it. I love taking it out and then snapping in those Joy-Cons, putting the little headphone in, and then taking it into another room. Like, I was playing last night for a couple hours, and then when I went to bed, I was like, I'll play a little bit in bed. Just pop, pop, snap, take it into bed, played a little, like, walking around a village, like, hanging out.
So, Hubert...
I just keep thinking, like, man, I want to, like, take this places.
Can we remind everybody that this man hates handheld gaming?
Yeah.
Please do, yes. Hates his 3DS.
It's so funny.
Hates it.
Because Beth was like, I was like, you gotta, like, check this out. You gotta watch this. Okay, there's the game on screen, right? Watch this. And I was like, snap, snap. Isn't that cool? And she goes, don't you hate handhelds? The first thing she said.
Good for her. Yeah. Good for her. Can you give her a little love and the next time you see her and tell her I appreciate that?
Here's the big 180 for me.
Yeah.
Is the Wii U, especially at launch, but kind of even now, the menus, everything was so slow.
Yes.
Like you push the home button, it's like, where is it? Oh, okay, there's
Yes.
And like Wii U, it's like screenshot, okay, home button, Twitter, done, back to game. Like everything is so fast. Like even like something like sleep mode, I was amazed. I'm like, sleep mode,
Yeah.
you're off?
Yeah.
I didn't have to wait for you to shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and then you're back in super fast too.
Yeah.
That weird
and then
ad screen.
Did you read that there's this thing with the battery where like it won't let the battery completely drain on you. It'll go into sleep mode when the battery gets to a certain percentage, so you don't lose where you're at.
Oh, my laptop does that. That's cool.
So
I'd have Polygon tell me how to turn the system off. I was confused.
Oh, because you always do sleep?
Oh yeah, I was so confused. And then because I held the home button on the controller.
Yep.
But that didn't give me the option to turn off.
Sure.
So I was like, what the heck?
What? How do you turn it off?
Hold the power button
I figured, yeah.
on
The console itself.
For some reason, I didn't do that. And
Oh, okay.
I just like but because when you press it, everything just like powers down, and you think it's off, but it's just putting it into sleep.
Yes.
So I was like, how do I?
why do you need to turn it all the way off?
It's just habit.
Okay.
I turn mine.
Just a habit.
In case power outage, I don't know. I'm paranoid like that.
I've been on record saying that if the NX is a hybrid handheld console, I would bathe in lava because I hated the idea so much.
Didn't it sound dumb? Remember the first time? Remember the first time we found out the controllers attached to the sides? We're all
that was heavily rumored. Yeah, I was so mad.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
You picture these like little phone cords that like come out of it, you know, like this little Fisher Price dinky thing.
The thing
so good.
for me,
so
it's
slick.
like.
Hold on. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
What?
You were in the middle of saying something.
Yeah.
No, I mean, this Huber says the thing for me. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go.
Okay,
Huber,
sorry. Okay.
Green light, Huber. Green light.
Do this.
The handheld thing is putting Zelda on, like swapping it from the TV onto the handheld. It doesn't feel like I'm playing a handheld game. It feels like I'm playing a Switch game or a console game on my handheld.
Yes.
So that's kind of the psychological thing I'm feeling. It's like, whoa, this is like a full-on game, but just in the palm of my hand.
Smaller screen.
It does make me furious. The frame rate's better in the
plain
handheld.
simple.
It makes me furious.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
But
little-
it's rendering at a different resolution.
Yes.
So that's apparently just they went just over the edge of where they should have probably.
It's
funny because it's like
because it's 900p on your TV, 720p on the handheld itself,
and it's 720 on Wii U as well, right?
Oh, I
Is
have
that
no
correct?
idea what the Wii U version does.
Sure.
The thing is, though, it makes me furious. It makes Kyle angry. Kyle wanted his powerful Nintendo console and Zelda that runs super smooth.
Yeah.
I still think it was the right business call to make this hybrid thing.
I think there could be a patch still. Remember Witcher on PS4? That was buggy and laggy for a bit, for a couple weeks, like three solid weeks at launch.
Sure.
The Witcher had issues, and they just patched it and patched it and patched it and got it over that hump, and now it runs fine.
I remember 0 Nintendo performance patches. I remember 0 of them.
Yeah.
For any Nintendo game.
Wii U had a lot of behind-the-scenes patches that like you just didn't really pay any attention to.
But I think most of the time it's like you can't use that shortcut in Mario Kart anymore. I don't think they're like
Because remember, Zelda already had one. Breath of the Wild
performance patch.
Well, they had a day one patch, but I don't know exactly what it did.
It was supposedly it made the handheld version of it less framey.
Oh, focus on the handheld version.
Yeah.
Prove it.
I'm not going to, but I'm
no.
tempted.
Jones is using the prove it ticket on your
That's a Digital Foundry.
You got to prove it.
Okay.
All right. So
wait,
I want to say this, and this is something actually that I've been like hungry for some developer to do with an open world game, and that's every time we get into a new gen, you know, like I play something like GTA 3 back in the PS2, and I was thinking like, wow, okay, PS3 and 360 are coming out. I can't wait to see, you know, this type of game blown up, and I'm like. It's always been frustrating me every single time we get to a new gen. We have developers that get to new technology, and they always try to make it look as good as it possibly can. And I feel that restricts how big this world can be. Like I've always been tempted to be like, what if you just made the game look exactly like it looked in last gen? Just make it really friggin' huge, you know? And like, and I love that they've kind of done that. Like when I would see screenshots or when I would see like a trailer for Breath of the Wild, I'm like, And then you watch somebody play it, and it's like, oh, this works. I mean, this world totally works. Like the facial animation is great. Everyone's really expressive in that game. It's
my goodness.
It's just
Those
enough.
faces.
It's just enough. Like and I think that's great. I'm excited to see someone do that. It's like, yeah, this mountain I'm climbing up doesn't have to be amazing because this mountain's huge.
Can we talk about more issues with the Switch?
Oh yeah,
because there are many.
Okay. Many creative issues.
Creative issues.
That it just runs the gamut of the stuff I'm seeing online. It's not like Red Ring. It's like it's just every possible thing you can imagine going wrong with this thing.
So why those creative issues? They're creative in that they're unique. You mean?
And that they're all different. Like,
sure. Obviously, we got sent that video from Crobecat a bunch of times, where there have been lots of technical issues and just like the screen not working, the game stopped working.
The super high pitched beep is, I think, my favorite. Beep. Just the fire alarm. Like,
and as Blood said, go ahead, Blood.
Yeah, you're referencing what I said on Twitter.
Yeah, which was great.
Yeah,
you said
because it's like you can get 50 people.
Yeah.
To make videos of defects.
Yes.
And that sounds like a lot, but
out of 300,000,
they sold 3 or 4 million Switches.
Yeah,
that is like less than 1%.
That's business.
Sure,
that's technology.
That's just how things work. So it's it's one of those things where you're really at the mercy of the company to comment on how much of a failure rate they have.
Right.
It's like unless you know that half your friends have broken Switches, then there's not really any reason to like call an alarm.
Apparently, DualShockers updated their score from 9.5 to 10 after the patch.
Whoa.
Because it fixed frame rate.
You prove it? You're using DualShockers review change?
I mean, I did a half-assed prove it, so if he gives me a half-assed answer,
I saw the Digital Foundry test after the patch, and there were still frame rate dips on the console.
There are definitely still frame rate dips
on the console. It is not fixed.
No. On the console, on the handheld part of it.
So because the handheld's perfect, DualShockers says that's a 10.
I'm not DualShockers.
All right, well, they're not wrong, I guess. But as we said, those are isolated incidents. The things that I do want to talk about are, this pops up a lot, the straps that you connect to the Joy-Cons. This is simply kind of dumb in that they're very easy to put on wrong.
Lastly, it says based on several reviews.
Based what?
The day one patch.
Wait, they based it on other people's reviews rather than their own testing?
This is
oh no.
This is a tech site. Based on several reviews, it seems the Breath of the Wild Day 1 patch update also improves the game performance on Switch. Website DualShockers even updated its review from 9.5 to 10.
What source are we looking at now? What is a tech site?
WC Tech?
Hubert.
Yeah, your sources.
I don't know,
shaky.
dude. We're shaky here.
All right.
I think we got to bail on that one and say we have no idea what the patch did.
All right.
I mean, it could have
corrections music.
It could have improved things, but it might not just improved it to the point where we still see the difference.
Everyone is mainly citing DualShockers. Reddit thread about it. Zelda update fixes a lot of frame rate issues on Reddit, Nintendo Reddit.
Okay.
DualShockers updated their score.
Oh yeah, you can't. DualShockers is not the one. We can. I don't know.
That's all I can give you.
Okay. There are plenty of problems still, though. What's the point?
Yes.
I haven't seen Nintendo really change a game dramatically with a performance update, and I don't know if we can count on them to do it in the future. Is what I mean.
Yeah.
Historically, that's not going to happen.
Well, I mean, what to them? What did they do wrong? I mean, they have amazing scores across the board.
Oh,
they
definitely
best-selling
know,
console. It's like
they definitely know that there's frame rate issues. I mean, here's my goal. I went to the GDC session on Zelda.
Nice.
And they were talking about when Onuma sent them the email like this is going to be a Switch launch game. And
when was that?
Huh?
Did they say when that was?
I didn't take note of the date.
Okay.
But anyways, but they were saying that, at first it was like, oh my gosh, this is a huge project. But they said that as soon as they got it running on the Switch, that it was like actually performing a lot better than they initially expected, to like not have it optimized or anything. It's like, oh, the frame rates are already equal to or better than what's running on the Wii U currently. Mm-hmm. So they've been aware of frame rate and they've been optimizing things as they went along. They just didn't get it all the way there.
Okay, maybe they'll have a patch.
I think it can get there.
Okay, maybe we'll get there.
Patch it up. Future, baby.
Sure.
Patches.
Oh, and the scratches on the screen. Should we talk about that? Where if you
I
slide
don't
it
know
in
how
not too
that
many
happens
times,
unless there's like a defect in the dock mold.
It is weird that there's nothing in the dock. Like,
Yeah.
on the screen side in the dock, it's plastic.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Maybe a little
surprising.
foam there would have been
Just a little
But I
fuzz.
think where even the little spots that hold it in place are like not actually the screen. They're like that border of the screen. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Like there's nothing in my dock that would scratch the screen. So that's why I'm thinking like there's like something wrong with like a plastic mold injection or something.
of those that do have
Every
scratches
time
on
I
the
put it
screens.
in too, I'm just like,
Yeah.
That is, I mean, we're doing that because we heard about
you
screen
know,
scratches.
Yeah, just kind of tap it in there and
Which
tap
is
it
not,
out.
but that's not how they show it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
When they
everyone's
show
like,
the switch, they just slam it in, slam it in. If you do it like that, you'll probably get scratches on your screen, which I think is a bad thing. That's worth saying, bad job. But I mean, I guess we'll see as we go on. So it's cool. It was a good launch for the Switch. Good things happened. Bad things happened. Let's rate it. Let's rate the Switch launch, the Switch hardware.
Oh my gosh.
Just say good job Nintendo or bad job Nintendo.
Oh,
But
okay.
nothing too serious.
Good job, Nintendo.
Yeah,
Why?
good job, Nintendo.
Good job, Nintendo.
But I need a why. Why, Huber?
A must-have launch game
Okay.
and tech that has me excited.
All right.
I'm excited about the portability of it, which I never thought I would be.
Bloodworth?
The public is excited.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's. I mean, the thing sold out. There, people aren't confused as to what's the Switch.
Yeah. It's so important.
Like, people got it, and people are excited for it. And you know, launch is sold out. It's gonna sell out for the next few shipments, and then you know, there will be probably more spikes as more games come out. You know, when Mario Kart comes out, it's gonna sell a ton because there's a ton of people that never got a Wii U.
Yeah.
I'm
many,
really
many
curious
people.
to see how fast the Switch catches up to Wii U lifetime sales. It's going to be hilarious.
Yes.
It'd be really interesting to see next year if we just get this flood of Wii U games when they see how good Mario Kart does.
Yeah.
They're like, whoa.
Can you believe Mario this year too? barring a delay.
Oh, Odyssey?
Start with Zelda in the year and end it with Mario.
It's a good year for Yes.
And if they actually get Xenoblade,
That's the frustrating thing is we're going to complain all year about the lack of software. You know, what do they bring at E3, whether that was just disappointing or not. And then they're going to be right back, same podcast, a couple months from now, talking about Mario. We're going to be glowing. It's going to be huge,
One of the
crazy
highest
reviews.
reviewed games of all time.
Yeah.
Mario Odyssey.
Sure. Should we wrap the conversation? Will Mario Odyssey break 90 as well?
Yes.
It feels like it because in a lot of
Possibly.
ways people wanted the Zelda games to return to the roots, and like they openly said when they announced it, they're like, this is one of those Mario 64 Mario games. And it's like, did Nintendo just say that?
Yeah.
I thought Nintendo wasn't allowed to say that.
And say
Because
what you will.
you kind of just threw all of the Wii U Super Mario Brothers games under the bus. Like
Yeah,
you literally just
they did.
said we didn't do this last gen. We skipped it.
Yeah.
And that blew my mind that they admitted that. Like, wow.
I honestly, I think as soon as the Pokemon sales die off, we're getting that Pokemon Stars announcement.
Yes.
That's before the end of the year.
E3. Charizard reveal.
Charizard's in the
Yeah,
game, man.
he's like,
No, I mean he's gonna reveal the Pokemon Stars.
They always have Charizard.
Yeah,
It's true.
Charizard's coming out.
He was in the
breathing
Pokemon Go
flames.
reveal.
I don't
Yeah,
think-
you always got to have Charizard.
I really don't think they'll do it as early as E3. It could happen, but I think before the year is up, we will at least hear about the game if it's
Yeah.
not out before Christmas.
E3 high stakes for Nintendo. They gotta lay it out.
No.
They gotta lay some games
no.
out.
No.
Baby.
not as
not.
much. They had way more high stakes last year.
Yeah. They just showed Zelda.
One game, like
They show they got it. They're like, we get what
But I
E3
mean,
is
they
about. We
can
got
really
this.
establish
Oh, yeah.
their foothold. You know, if they come out with a strong showing at E3.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Good job, Nintendo, is what we're leaving with. Games that broke 90s, we're talking about that. Let's talk about a bunch of games that never break the 90s. It's time for everyone's favorite segment, Games with Gold versus PlayStation Plus.
Oh, okay.
Games with Gold for the month of March. The month of March.
I also said munch.
What?
I said munch during Cup of Jones.
Yeah.
I tried to say the month of March, and I said munch.
If you just combine those words, it's munch.
Yeah.
The Munch of Marth.
Yep. Boom-tsh.
You gave it to yourself, though. You gave it to
No, I
Bloodworth.
gave it to you. You just
gave
said
it to
munch.
Bloodworth.
You just said munch.
He said Munch of March, and then you gave the rim shot to Bloodworth.
You said munch of March and kicked off the whole thing.
Oh my goodness.
I'll give you another one.
For Games with Gold for the month of March, we have Layers of Fear, an Xbox One game,
Yeah. Never played the full one. Never played the full game.
because we played it in early access, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So that's a horror game,
Who's
first
getting
person,
an
right?
Xbox?
What's up?
Who's got that Xbox?
Xbox One.
Okay.
Games
Play
with Gold.
Get it.
Yeah.
Play it. Turn
Yeah.
the lights off.
Very
light a
unique horror
candle.
game.
And it's first person. Would you call it an adventure game? Maybe it's kind of about like picking up items
there's
and
puzzles,
exploring.
exploration, sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Evolve Ultimate Edition.
Cool.
Hubert, you raise your eyebrows for Evolve?
I haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that name in a while.
All Obi-Wan Kenobi about Evolve.
That's cool. It's a little shot in the arm for the game.
Yeah. Sorry?
It's probably a little shot in the arm for the game.
A little shot in the arm,
I'm sure there's a lot
perhaps.
of people that like didn't get it and like were curious about it.
Yeah.
Play
Yeah.
some rounds.
Sure,
I wish Evolve
play some
had
rounds.
succeeded.
Yeah. It's not from lack of trying.
Yeah.
They put it
I think it made an impact. I think it affected the industry.
In what way,
Maybe
Jones?
it closed Lionhead Studios, but
Wait, what?
Lionhead, what are you talking about?
because they were doing Fable Legends, saw the sales of Evolve, and
Oh,
were like,
they're-
how
Because
popular
they're
is
both
that
asymmetrical
4v1
multiplayer. I get what you're saying.
trend
Sure.
happening now? But I think, I'm sure, people like just different AAA publishers kind of looked at their brands and realized, like, can we do this? Is this something we can explore? This new genre? Because it might be something people are crazy excited about.
And they said,
weren't.
oh, no.
Nope.
Okay, got it. Borderlands 2 for Xbox 360, which you can also play on your Xbox One.
Right on.
Okay.
I have to note, as is a new rule, I have to note that was a PlayStation Plus game in 2013.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. It's
Extra research?
2013.
Yes, it was a while ago.
Oh, and 3, they at GDC, was it? Yeah, Pitchford showed
Some screenshots.
some screenshots of the tech demo type thing.
Okay.
So I'm wondering, that's pretty
Tied in?
good timing there.
Okay.
I don't know, conspiracy theory, sleuthing.
I don't like that sleuthing. I'm going to say completely coincidental.
All right, we'll see.
What did you think of the screenshots?
Fine.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, all right, you got a desert environment.
How
we
many
get it.
numbers are on the screen?
So what do you mean? Oh, no, zero
Oh,
numbers.
yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
I got you.
There was a character with her face hidden.
And then finally, another 360 game called Heavy Weapon, which is hard for me to understand what it was. It's a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up where you're a tank, and you just kind of shoot up as the tank and across.
Cute.
That was like an 360 arcade game. You can also play it on Xbox One. That's it. For PlayStation Plus, we have Disc Jam, which I've not played yet, but... and there's not a lot of reviews for it yet because I think it just went live today. It's a game where... What's the... Windjammers?
Windjammer.
Yeah.
Disc Jam is like Windjammers.
What?
Yeah.
So that's, yeah. People were asking for that to be
For us
on
to
a
stream it
or
tonight.
something, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta play that, Kyle.
It's like Windjammers, not from the top, but I think you have a third person
okay.
perspective. But yeah, it's an online multiplayer game.
Cool.
Yeah. We will play some Disc Jam.
Yeah, awesome.
Tearaway Unfolded.
Nice.
Yes.
Great pickup.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fantastic.
I
pickup.
love Tearaway Unfolded.
That's a really good, it's a perfect, choice for stuff like this.
Yes.
For that free game. Because you're like, oh, if you hadn't, like, of course, here it is. This
Yes.
is it. I'm playing that game right now.
Delightful little gem.
It's going to ask you to plug in a microphone. I recommend it.
Yeah. Do everything at once.
Yeah.
Do everything
Yes.
it asks.
Except I didn't want my face in the sun, so I was like, no, I'm okay.
Oh, that
I'm
camera's
alright.
good.
I don't want that.
I wouldn't want your face in my son either.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't feel right. Under Night in Birth. Does anyone know what Under Night in Birth is?
It's a fighting game.
Yes, Bloodworth,
Yeah.
it is. You knew about that?
Whoa.
So it's a 2D fighting game. The art is kind of like Blaze Blue, right? It's like hand-drawn 2D fighting game. Bloodworth knew it.
Wow, yeah.
Professional.
And I was looking up, the reviews are not bad for it. They're pretty good.
Wow.
Ben's probably playing it right now.
He's playing some Under Night in Birth. Earth Defense Force 2025.
Ben's actually playing that.
Both of those are PS3 games, by the way, only. They will not play on
Right.
your PS4. Now we're into our Vita section. We have Lumo, which actually is cross-buy on PS4. This is, I guess I'd call it an action platformer. It's a weird isometric perspective. You're a little wizard boy,
Right.
and you're doing hardcore platforming.
Right. They made a big deal about bringing back the isometric. Yeah.
Bringing it back.
Yeah.
Lumo did. They said, we're bringing it back.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You can't say, we're bringing back isometric. Who do you think you are saying we're bringing it back? Is that what do you mean, Blood? What do you mean? What did they say?
Bringing it back to the franchise or bringing it back to the public?
Like Justin
Isometric?
Timberlake can say, I'm bringing sexy back.
Yeah.
Lumo cannot say, I'm bringing isometric back.
Yeah.
It's a big, bold statement, Lumo.
Get in the back row, Pillars of Eternity.
And then finally, also on Vita, Severed.
Oh,
Great pick.
Another,
Man.
Yes.
Okay.
perfect
That's like one of the
category.
most recent must-have Vita games. It's must-have.
Of the year.
Of the
year of 2016.
Yeah, there's not a lot of Vita games.
So, Games with Gold versus PlayStation Plus. Who wins the month? You want me to go over them one more time?
Yeah.
Okay,
Quickly.
so on Games with Gold for Xbox One, Layers of Fear and Evolve Ultimate Edition. For 360, Borderlands 2 Heavy Weapon. Keep in mind, both of those are playable on your Xbox One. For PlayStation Plus, on PS4, you have Disc Jam and Tearaway Unfolded. On PS3, you have Under Night In-Birth and Earth Defense Force. On Vita, you have Lumo and Severed. Keep in mind, only Lumo playable on your PlayStation 4.
PlayStation.
Yeah, PlayStation.
Yeah,
wow.
by nose. It's yeah. Just because each of those different categories has a game I'm really excited about.
Earth Defense Force, Jones, is
That-
like what you say, like the perfect free game, the perfect PlayStation Plus type game.
The type of game that you do not regret however much time you put into it.
Yeah.
Well,
10
and
minutes, 10 hours, great.
Evolve and Borderlands are both so dependent on like having a group.
That.
Yeah. So I mean, like since it's free, yeah, maybe, but like how many of your friends are gonna be like, oh, I'm over that?
Yeah. Yeah. You know that I say I hate Metacritic, but secretly love it, and I hate the open critic, things like that. If you compare the scores, it's not even close. So that's a PlayStation Plus month.
Didn't Borderlands 2 got a remaster, or was that another?
No, they got like a big
that had some Jack
bundles.
collection. This is simply
Was 2 included in that, or was that just the first
It
Borderlands?
was
Borderlands 2 is in the Handsome Jack collection.
yeah,
for
Okay.
sure.
2 pre-sequel and like a giant pile of deals.
This
Oh,
is
that's
the
right.
360 version,
Okay.
but you can also
So
play
that's
it.
a little weird. It's not like the remaster.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Okay. A rare win for PlayStation Plus.
Good job.
Actually, 2. It's now 2-1.
Ooh.
PlayStation Plus has won 2 months out of this year. That's weird. Before we move on, I actually wanted to talk about this. I wanted to talk about the PlayStation Vita, and I wanted to talk about the PlayStation 3 being components of PlayStation Plus. For the Xbox One, it totally makes sense. Hey, you can play those 360 games on the Xbox
Yeah.
One. We have 2 PlayStation 3 games that are stuck on the PlayStation 3, a console that came out in 2006. It's 11 years ago.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. I want to ask the panel, when you think they're going to stop supporting the PlayStation 3 and stop supporting the Vita with their PlayStation Plus games?
I'm depressed my PlayStation 3 broke. It makes me very sad because it plays PS2 games.
Yes.
And that's a bummer.
I stream on my PS3 all the time.
I really want
Not all
to
the
like buy one. Go out and buy that big old
Chunker.
OG launch PS3
Yes.
because PS2 games.
Mine
rule.
could use a little bit of a repair. The Ethernet port isn't doing too well.
You're dodging my question, panel. When should they kill the support for the PS3?
this
now.
year sometime.
Yeah, probably this year.
It's now, right?
it's now.
They should say we're not supporting that anymore.
Yeah.
They should say, hey, you had 6 years of Vita games. We're done. You got everything we could have done for that thing. It's crazy to me because I think a common thing is just like, yeah, like how Sony supports the Vita. The Vita's old.
Yeah.
Vita came out in 2011.
Yeah.
And I kind of think they've done everything. Like, I realize there were many years where they didn't support it as they did. There were many promises made for the Vita that weren't kept up. But I do think at this point, they're not obligated to. And so what I really wanted to ask the panel is how long you think a console manufacturer is responsible, what is right for supporting a console? Because we had the Wii U that came out in 2012 that is officially dead. Just done. No more support. Is that okay? Was that enough time?
I mean, if there's no like support from the player base or consumers.
I mean, I don't know what
Sure.
you mean by support because I mean they are still releasing
Software, I would say.
downloadable games. Yeah.
For Wii U, no more discs will ever be made from Nintendo for that console.
True.
And I think that's why we can call it dead.
Was
I
Zelda
think,
the last
They've stopped
game?
manufacturing the consoles.
yeah,
as well,
I don't think they've announced it, but I think that's heavily rumored that they just stopped manufacturing the consoles. No more Wii U's will be sold. Well, made. Sorry, Huber?
Was Zelda the last game for?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good way to end it.
Yeah.
Good way to end it.
Fitting end.
But is that okay?
Yeah, because I would rather them, put their resources and time and energy into their new console, the Switch.
Yeah.
You know?
I guess the problem is not everybody bought a Wii U in 2012. A lot of people could have bought one in 2014 and had basically 2.5 years of support. I would say 2016 is a pretty much a wash for the Wii U.
Yeah.
I mean, Star Fox and what happened in the fall? There was a game, wasn't there? No, because they did the NES Classic. Oh, Color Splash. Like, rough year. Rough year 2016
Mario
for the
Maker?
Wii U. That was 2015. Yeah.
And Bayonetta 2015, right?
2014 for Bayonetta 2. Yeah. So yeah, Wii U. I think Wii U is an example of you didn't support that well enough. I think you bailed on the Wii U.
Yeah, but it kind of had to because there was. I mean, you're going to dump all those development resources into games that like the whole. If you sold to the entire console base,
yeah,
like you would be doing as well as games on the other platforms, and you're not going to do that.
Yeah.
So
as we said earlier, it was probably the right call to delay Zelda off of the Wii U.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still on the Wii U, but to delay it until it's a Switch title is probably the right business decision.
And it's entirely marketed for the Switch.
Yeah. Do you think though that people who bought it have the right to feel burned? At what point do you have the right to feel burned?
But I mean,
it still functions. You can still buy those games.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna get continued support. But if you're that late in a console's life cycle, what are your expectations anyway? Like, do you buy a console 4 years after it comes out and being like, this better be the year that I get a bunch of new stuff on this? Or do you, I can play Tropical Freeze now. I can play Pikmin 3. I can go back and check stuff out.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's right. Wii U is a special case. With the PS4, with the Xbox One, you buy that in fourth year. Yeah, you're expecting it to be great. You're expecting that fourth year to be one of its best years.
Sure.
In those two consoles cases, they probably will be.
Right. But because of that, I don't think it's mean that they're shutting off support for the Wii U now.
Yeah.
I think that's actually like...
And so I want to look back at the PS3 and Vita. I think they can go ahead and shut off support for those. I think you can go ahead and pull the plug on those two things.
Yeah. I think the Vita's a weird case because it's pretty clear that it didn't do anywhere near the numbers that Sony would want it to have. It didn't give them a real, other than Japan, it didn't give them a real foothold in the handheld market.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's very unlikely that it's going to get a successor.
Right.
Like the PS3 is
Despite
like, okay,
patents.
that's old news. Get the cheap, slim PS4, keep up with the times. But Vita, it's like, this is it. Like when those last few Japanese developers stop putting stuff out on it, then
Blood, they're handing out 2 Vita games a month.
Yeah.
They're still supporting it, It's weird. I mean, obviously those aren't necessarily 2 new Vita games a month, but I think they can easily say, hey, PS Plus is going to only be PS4 games going forward, and very few people would be mad, and that the games would be better on PS Plus. You'd be able to offer better games.
Are they still adding PS2 to PS4 games and those classic games?
Very rarely,
Hubert.
They still roll around from time to time.
Okay, because the Vita is very good for those. So as long as those are still being put out, I think there is some value in still having a Vita.
Yeah.
When they put like a GTA 3 or something on there and you...
And I think the reason is they're finding people are still playing games on Vitas.
Yeah.
I think they have metrics we don't have, and they're saying, Kyle, we're doing fine, bud. We're going to keep putting PlayStation Plus games on the Vita. Sorry, bro. And it's like, fine.
Because what was it? PSX, where Gio came out with the Vita and like everyone cheered?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's like a passionate fan base.
Oh, yeah.
And he walks,
Absolutely.
Gio Corsi walks around during PSX handing out Vita games to people. Sony still loves the Vita. It's like, you can let it go. You can totally stop loving the Vita as much as you do.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me. It's very, very crazy. What?
No, just agree.
Oh.
Making grunts.
Okay. I'm sorry, did you hear that? Look. Sounds like it's podcast halftime!
It's a new month. It's a new era.
Whoa.
The following are the official sponsors of Easy Allies for the month of March. Michael Kozachenko, who you can find at Misha Koz. Mango. iKeyless. Need a new car key or remote? iKeyless.com has been in the key replacement business since 2002. Check them out today and they can help save you up to 75% off of the dealership's prices. Almost had it. If you type in offer code EZA at checkout, you'll get 15% off of your order. Hogue Law Business Law Firm. Whether you're starting a business at level 1, stuck fighting the dreaded fundraising boss, or finally cashing out with a well-earned high score, you need a good business lawyer at your side. At Hogue Law, they're not just attorneys, they're entrepreneurs with more than a decade of experience representing software, hardware, and game developers, and we're developers themselves. They are proud to support the Allies, so check them out at www.hoaglaw.com. Steve Lichman. Life's tough when you're a lich, and Steve's is no different. Join Steven and his monster friends for their everyday lives down in the dungeon, battling handsome heroes, muscular magicians, and deep depression. Books 1 and 2 are available for pre-order for a limited time only. Check out the 90-page preview free at stevelichman.com. Scorn, an atmospheric horror adventure developed by Ebb Software, set in a nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry. Go to scorn-game.com for more information. All of these links are available in the description. Thank you to our sponsors.
Hoglaw.
Hoglaw.
I gotta get that one on the site still.
Hoglaw, HOEGLAW.com. Hoglaw.
Yes, that's worth spelling out. What a unique sponsor.
Yeah.
So they represent people in the biz, in the software.
Well, they'll represent anybody. They're business law firm, but specifically, they're gamers amongst them, and they they made a couple mobile games.
Nice.
Oh.
And we should say we've got a slot open
Right now.
Slots
You
open.
would like to be a sponsor?
Okay.
You will be a sponsor for the month of April because the charge will not go through until the beginning of April.
If I made a video game and I see it on the App Store,
Yeah.
and I didn't upload it, I go to Hoglaw and say, "Hey, I got a problem." Is that like what I would do?
I don't know.
Okay.
I can't speak on behalf of a law firm. I think that's a bad idea.
Sure. Can't hurt to visit the website, though. Can't hurt to... All right. Okay. I got you, Jones. It is now time for love and respect.
Love and respect.
I've never had more attention from Sophie. She's so curious about what was going on there. Staring me down. Sophie, it's just Rufus. Do you know where Rufus comes from? Okay, now go find the maker. Go find the artist, Sophie. She has a scent. Okay. So let's start. Ooh, you know what? I'm feeling this one. This one I felt also personally, and I want to start with this one. This comes to us from Colin Cooper. Hello, allies. Query. I'm a huge consumer of games media, possibly even more than I am a consumer of actual games. I love watching people talk shop about games, specifically EZA, but I have a problem with the way games media, or perhaps publishers/developers, have stepped up the zeitgeist of games. One of Huber's favorite words.
That word only exists because of these guys. Oh my gosh.
Because of this, I have games FOMO, fear of missing out.
Yep.
Not fear of missing out on the game, but fear of missing out on the conversation. I'm playing Horizon Zero Dawn right now and loving it. I loved your review. I loved hearing more about it on Frame Trap, but now a week later, I'm not even halfway done and avoiding spoilers still, and the world has moved on. Now it's Zelda everyone is talking about, and I don't even have a Switch yet. So by the time I want to hear all about what people thought about the story with spoilers of Horizon, we'll be on to Prey or God knows what. Then I'll play Zelda and I'll be in the same boat, cast away at sea, alone with no one to listen to at the moment about the game I want to hear about. Is this just the way now? A game gets talked about for months before it comes out, and then a week tops after and we move on? Maybe there are too many games? Maybe that last thing I said was crazy. Just curious on your thoughts. Thanks.
I feel you.
I would say it depends on who you're talking about. Because you say everyone's not talking about it anymore. I'm sure somebody's talking about Horizon right now. It's just like your favorite outlets are not talking about it. I just want to be specific there.
Sure.
So I can figure out who we're focusing on.
Right. As a consumer of games media.
Well, no, I mean, like the big, like I can't imagine an IGN or a GameSpot or Polygon even really talking about Horizon anymore. Like it's done.
Polygon's actually very good about that. I can't remember if it was Polygon or Kotaku that took the stand that they're like, we're not gonna
Kotaku definitely
do the
took a
zeitgeist
stand.
angle. Was it Kotaku?
It was
Yeah.
Kotaku.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
we're more interested in after launch.
Yeah.
Kind of like what happens now.
And they're actually
Like,
very good about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to do it. It's a great stance to take.
Yeah, they
in the
came out with
industry.
a great article about Watch Dogs 2. They Watch Dogs 2 patched something in. That game's been out for 3 or 4 months now, and I was like, good, I haven't finished Watch Dogs 2. This makes me feel like I fully haven't missed the boat yet.
Yeah.
Because you're still doing
And some of the
articles
boats,
about it.
I mean, really don't set sail until after a lot of us stop talking about it. Rainbow Six Siege, big community going on there.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it is. But I know it's like there are people super dedicated to that. I know they put a lot of resources into that, and people really respect what Ubisoft has done with that game. It's just like it's not my kind of game. I'm not really into that scene, and but I respect what I've heard.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
The Yakuza 0 ship
It's gone.
is docked. It's never leaving.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Ever.
It's like a cruise ship
Yes.
that you can rent out for parties.
Yeah.
It's staying there.
Anytime, baby.
Yeah.
I love that I got the script for the last community comments that we did for January, and I scroll through, I'm like, Final Fantasy 15, 15, there it is. Like, somebody's got to mention it.
Is it really Doc Huber? Tell me something about Yakuza 0 right now. Keep it alive. Keep the conversation
Huber has
alive.
been talking about it constantly. What do you
This
me something.
actually, this is
Keep
perfect.
X alive. Did you
Yeah.
just ask Huber that? Are you serious?
Keep it alive
This is
right now.
perfect for this question, actually.
Okay.
Because I am the same way with missing the zeitgeist.
Yes.
I want to be part of the conversation, and that's why I always, when I come to the Allies and I'm talking about TV and movies and everything, and they're like, "Dude, play Neo. Like, what's up?" The reason I'm always caught up on TV and movies is because it's so much easier to stay above water. You watch like one
Sure.
episode a week, you're in it, you're good, it's an hour, you sit down, you stand up, you're caught up. You're caught up, you just watch.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
So what?
So, Yakuza 0 came out this year,
Yes.
and I had other games. I had Neo out,
Yeah.
and Gravity Rush 2,
Yep.
and Kingdom Hearts even.
Yeah.
I caught up on the entire Kingdom Hearts franchise.
Still have not touched 2.8.
have not touched 2.8.
Yes.
Yakuza 0 completely changed the way I consume games, because
Wow.
going through this game, I had the urge to critical path it, to just
Yeah.
get through, do the main story, which I usually
What I did for Horizon.
Yeah.
We'll get there, but I had the same issue.
Didn't you get that urge from Deus Ex changing how you played games?
Yes. So it's another step. It's another step on top of that.
Evolution.
Yes.
So now
Phase 2.
So phase 2. So Yakuza 0 comes, and I just get caught up in all these side quests, playing for 3 hours and not getting one main thing done, staring at all my backlogged games, and I was okay with it. I was liberated. I was fine.
Are you ever going to play Neo?
Yes.
You are going to play
I will
Neo.
get to it, and it's
Can I
like,
tell you I don't believe you?
you gotta believe me.
I don't.
I swear.
There's so many
because
other games.
there are.
We're going to move on.
There are so many other games.
I think April is looking a little quiet.
We will get to
comparatively.
those. We will get to those months where it's not like 5 must-play games come out, and that is when I will catch up. It's like I haven't ordered these things, and I will get to them when I get to them.
Mass Effect is late March.
It's gonna be tough, but I'm gonna get there.
Okay.
It's gonna be tough, but still, my point being is that I didn't want to sacrifice the incredible masterpiece that is Yakuza 0. I didn't want to compromise it and skip all of these side stories because some of them are extremely emotional. I didn't want to skip them and cheat myself just to get to another game, because then I'm not going to enjoy either game.
But don't you feel, Huber, that you'll never have someone to have a conversation with about this game?
No, because I have all you guys, so I'm kind of in.
Wow, must be nice.
Yeah, must be nice. Like Neo, I actually talking to Ben and Ian.
Yeah.
Because they've been pushing me so hard to play Neo.
Yeah.
And I'm like, guys, when I get to it now, you know, you're out of it because it's been out for
Which
so
is
long.
Colin Cooper's problem.
You've come and gone.
Yes.
But I can still come to. So I feel like Easy Allies. You know, we're
Yeah.
always talking about.
Well, this
Always
makes me
talking
feel
about these
good
old
putting up my
games.
Pokemon Sun review like 4 months late.
Yeah.
It's like, well, someone's gonna appreciate that actually.
I guess. I think the ship has sailed on Pokemon Sun and Moon, Jones.
Well, we got the Stars announcement coming soon, so like, people are gonna. Oh yeah, how was that Pokemon?
I think it's probably actually selling
go
really
dig it
well
up.
still.
It's tough. There's so many games, but I feel like if you rush through something you're enjoying,
Yeah.
you're not gonna get as much out of it. And it's like that's not good.
But I think you can pick and choose. Like I think pick and choose your battles, because at the end of that, they said that is this where we're at? Am I always going to be like this? And I think like look at the year of gaming and really try to pick less than 5. Like you can count on one hand of like games like I'm going to attack this like this, and don't necessarily look at it because you're excited about it, because then you're putting all of the responsibility on the publisher to put it out at time for it to work as well as it should at launch. Like for me, like Horizon is a great example because I got that super early. So I was like, here we go. I'm dropping everything and I'm focusing on this game. Whereas like Ghost Recon, I got like 4 days before launch and like, I don't know if I'm gonna review this, because it's just a bad time right now. So understand that the majority of your gaming experiences are going to be like that. It's going to take a while. You're not going to finish it until the major publishers are moving on from the conversation. But the opportunity will come up where you'll have a game like an Inside that everyone's talking about, and you can beat it in a day. and like so you can.
But
you can do that.
I think it's a double whammy that we've got this Q1 because it's like not only are all these
relentless
great games coming out about the same time, Nier coming out this week. Like what the heck?
Crazy.
Oh yes.
But like the majority of them are like super long games.
So long.
Yakuza and Horizon and Zelda
hours.
And even Nier
Gravity
and
Rush 2.
even Neo.
A decent Halo game came out to like little fanfare.
Right.
That's where
Halo
we're
Rush
at.
2 you're talking about.
Jones, I love that you said pick your battles. That helps me clear my mind a little bit. It's like when I was playing Yakuza 0, I had my eye on the future of Zelda. I'm like, I gotta beat this before Zelda comes out. I'm in on the zeitgeist. That is a day one, drop everything for that. So picking your battles, I think, is the best
that's for sure.
advice you could ever give.
Yeah, because of just life circumstances for me. I mean, I've been gone forever, so it's like I started, like I had one night with Resident Evil 7, and it's like haven't got to go back to it, even though I know, like you guys just finished that thing in like one sitting.
That ship is docked.
It's
not going anywhere, bud.
I'm not as optimistic as the panel. I would say to Colin, this is how it is now. I'm going to say the podcasts you listen to, even Easy Allies podcast, they're going to move on.
No, Frame Trap doesn't. I like the beginning of Frame Trap because we can bring up old games.
Yeah. Frame Trap's cool in that way.
And you also have people like Angry Joe who takes his time. Like some things are right on it because he was involved with that company, and some games are like, he takes a week or two, to really get into it and put up a good video. So
which is good, I think. It bums me out when a game lives and dies in 1 week.
Because it shouldn't. Yeah, that doesn't.
People spend years on every single one of these.
I'm worried about Horizon already.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, though. Like, Horizon, like, it's not... I wouldn't say it's necessarily bad timing, but in terms of the conversation, it's like, Horizon is out, and now we're launching a console. And, it's like, the magnitude is just so extreme. And then, all the stuff at GDC, GDC was definitely on the back burner in terms of conversation pieces. We
had a console launch.
Yeah.
We had a Nintendo console launch.
We left GDC early.
Yep. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Oh, what a time. I guess...
I don't know. Jones's advice, man. Pick your battles.
Yeah. I think there really are too many games.
Yep.
I think there are too many games.
There are people in chat that have like proposed like we need a backlog year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
that was our Q&A. I think that was our Q&A actually. And I would love a backlog year. Sorry, I don't mean there are actually too many games.
Yeah, I think there are too many good games. I think there's too many great games. Mafia 3 is a great example. Mafia 3 is a game I was like, ooh, Mafia 3, I'd love to buy you. Like this looks like an interesting story. I love that time period. I'm sure the music is really great in this and it looks really gory and whatnot. And a bunch of people are just like, oh, okay. So like, I don't feel bad skipping that game. I feel bad skipping everything that came out in 2017. There's nothing that came out in 2017 that like I'm passing because I'm not interested. I'm passing because there's just no way it's happening.
I feel like a better example even for you, Jones, is Watch Dogs 2.
Oh like, yeah, I would. If I had Mafia 3 and Watch Dogs 2, Watch Dogs 2, of course. There's no question.
And Watch Dogs 2 is just swept under the rug kind of thing.
It absolutely got swept under.
Got buried.
Yeah, there's no room for it on a podcast. You put that on your thumbnail, nobody's clicking. That's the thing. It's like, I guess that's what I like about the thumbnail for this show is that it's never anything.
Yeah.
Because just it's independent of. Yeah, but it's kind of that thing though. If you want to run a podcast, if you want to be part of the games media that Colin is consuming, you kind of have to be on top of the new thing that week, and that is the dumb deal. That's why I make that stupid rule.
Yeah, but it's kind of funny because it's like on Frame Trap this week, none of us had gotten that far into Zelda, and we also are aware that like most people haven't gotten that far into Zelda either. Yeah. So it's like, let's talk about our general first impressions. But it's like you can't please everybody. So it's like there are people that are just like upset that we didn't deep dive into Zelda yet. It's like how? Yeah. How could we do that?
You just haven't deep dived yet. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Colin, I hear you. I don't have a good answer. Panel does, but I think they got soft answers. I'll be frank. I don't think
soft answers.
Yeah, I don't think you have a solution to Colin.
Oh no, we don't have a solution.
Yeah. The solution is pick your battles.
That's not a solution. Colin is picking his battles.
Well, it's about expectations. That's a way you can possibly temper those. Yeah. Because unless you do that, you're just sad all the time. Yeah. Because I will say that there will always be some amazing game that is launched, is playable, that you are not playing and cannot play.
Neo.
Yeah.
I've lost sleep over not playing Neo.
I believe you.
I'm not even kidding. I've laid in bed. I'm like, how have I not started Neo yet?
How have you not started? Huber, you're never starting that game.
I'm gonna beat it, dude. No one thinks I'm gonna beat it. I'm gonna beat Neo. I'm gonna rub that completion trophy in your face, Kyle.
Huber.
I think after Persona 5, Huber will get to Neo.
Persona 5! You said nothing happens in April. We forgot all about Persona 5.
Pick your battles, Persona 5.
That's one you gotta pick. You gotta pick that one.
My goodness.
Okay.
2017 going down in history.
Friendships will be lost over this GOTY discussion, man. Like it's oh my god, Red Dead. I don't care how good Zelda or Persona 5 is, man. At this point, I don't want that in my GOTY this year. I don't want to be that lone guy in the corner against a bunch of Zelda fans with my cowboy hat on, being like, but look at that horizon. Like, come on.
Perfect segue.
Looks so good.
Brandon Jones, you tossed it up for me.
What
is Shenmue 3 coming out this year?
No.
I haven't talked to you guys in a while about Shenmue. I want to gauge where you're at with it. Are you in the same place? Are you excited?
Very excited.
Are you concerned we haven't seen anything still? No. Where are you guys at?
No, I am excited to see gameplay. From what I've seen them do with the engine, yeah, my interest is piqued. Not because I'm going to play it. I'm just excited to see. And not because it's not gonna be a great game. I don't know the story, so I feel that's a loss going into a 3.
Well, those the new rumors that 1 and 2 HD still coming.
Picking my battles. You see, it's like I'm accepting the loss of that story.
We're not doing it in 2 HD. We're not doing it. Here's the strange thing, Huber. When that game was announced, it changed my perspective of what is possible.
Yeah.
I thought Shenmue 3 would never happen, and it said this was happening. Now that we live in this world of Shenmue 3, I gotta say, I'm just cool with it. I'm not thinking it's going to come out this year.
Yeah.
I'm not super hyped on it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, hey, Shenmue 3 is happening. It's probably not this year.
Yeah.
I'm coasting.
Cool.
I'm definitely coasting. I'm gliding off of that enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know if I'll ever be as hyped for that game that I was during that presentation. From now on, I just kind of glide off of it. I'm still airborne. I'm still in the sky.
Yeah. I like it. Okay, cool.
But I'm descending for sure.
But then when 1 and 2 remake come out and we full play through them on stream,
okay,
your hype will come back.
I'm almost down. I'm struggling whether to do a spicy one or a not spicy. I feel like we've been spicy enough.
Okay.
You want a softball?
Give us a softball.
I'll give you a softball. I really like this perspective. This is something I haven't... This is neat. I like this. Hi, allies. When we talk about skill in game, we overwhelmingly refer to mechanical skill. A game requires a lot of skill if you need to dodge at the right moments or make pixel-perfect jumps or react quickly to an opponent's attacks. At the same time, however, skill takes on a variety of forms. I recently completed Dragon Quest VIII, and by far, my favorite part of the game is how it is a high-skill game, not in the sense that combat requires careful planning and execution, but instead that Dragon Quest VIII rewards adventuring skill. For example, there's a point in the game where an NPC tells you that you need to find a gemstone in the world, but he can't remember where it is, and it's up to the player to recall a prominent stone from 30 hours of playtime earlier. It rewards the player for being an adventurer and in remembering important features of prior locations. To the panel, what other examples of non-traditional skill can you think of in gaming? Love and respect, Michael.
Survival horror, managing your inventory, managing your items.
It's a skill.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a skill.
I think reading NPCs is a skill. You play in Telltale, BioWare, knowing when an NPC is going to cheat you. You know, knowing if you start a conversation, you're like, I don't trust this guy. And the guy's like, hey, I'm going to go on this thing. Come with me. And you're like, no, you're a skeevy dude. I'm not. Yeah. Or just knowing when a hard choice is coming in Telltale, when you're like, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
I'm going to open this door. You're like, okay, I'm ready. You know.
That's cool. Blood, you got a skill?
Skill.
I got one.
Yeah.
I got one from Mario Maker, and it's a skill of fun, which is tough.
Oh,
you play at people's levels and you think,
Yeah.
oh, this actually isn't fun. And it's such a weird skill, and you practice that skill through Mario Maker. It's crazy. So I think Mario Maker is and it's tough about finding that balance of aesthetics, and you're like, oh, I want my level to look cool. And it's like, hey, great, it's not fun. And so I think skill is a fun that you can learn.
Infinity too. Like there were some people would design levels in Infinity, and you're like, what game did you make this in? Why are you the only person that can do this? What magic sauce do you have going on in your brain?
Oh, because they're intense. They're very good.
The tools that Disney Infinity provides, and you can make that work.
Sure.
because I would play some toy boxes that were just broken and misguided. I didn't know where I was going, and
Yeah.
And these are people like not developers.
Don't have that skill. That skill of fun, of capturing fun.
Humor might relate to me on this.
Oh, boy.
With horror games. I think there's a certain level of skill or maybe willingness to kind of adopt like immersion.
Absolutely,
to like kind of put yourself into what the game wants to do rather than your preconceived notion from other games. Like just figure out what this game is without necessarily comparing it.
Nice.
Love it. Love that answer, Bud.
Ooh,
Wow. Well, go ahead.
I got one.
What?
Camera movement, baby. Especially with like our job, which is capturing game footage and translating it, and
I'll buy it, Jones. I'll buy it. There are moments where I'm impressed by myself. I think, man, I did a pretty good job with that shot.
Yeah.
And I'm not capturing or anything. I just,
But I like when people say that when they're like capture shot, and be like, oh, I get my slow walking shot into a new area. It's like it's definitely something you can be good at.
That's weird. I really relate to that. You know how sometimes I just talk about right analog stick and nobody gets it? I'm just like, why do you want to control the camera so bad? I love controlling the camera.
Speaking of Zelda, I remember actually having getting in an argument with somebody when Twilight Princess came out on GameCube and Wii, and I was asking people about the Wii version as opposed to the GameCube, and one of the things you couldn't do on the Wii was right Epona and move the camera. So if you're on Epona, you're forward. You cannot look to the side or behind you. And on the GameCube, your little stick on the side, you can move the C-stick around. And the person was dumbfounded I wanted that. They were like, why would you want to look around while you're riding Epona? It's like,
Which makes sense.
What?
Yeah.
How many shots did I give you
Why
from
would I want
Blood
to
Wine
move
where
the
I
camera?
was doing that?
Yeah.
Like the whole time you were playing Wind Waker, like the fact that you could move the camera around your boat did nothing for you. You're just like, no, I'm good. I think lock that camera in Wind Waker in front of me. I'm fine.
I don't know, Jones. I think we are weird in that sense. I think there are a lot of people who are totally fine keeping the C-stick at where it is when they're riding that boat in Wind Waker.
All right.
Huber, are you a C-sticker?
Love the C-stick.
So when you're riding a boat, you'll stick that camera around.
Yeah, I'm looking around
Yeah.
and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Going on a long drive in Forza Horizon or like a GTA, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna move that camera around, get that sunset in the background.
Mm-hmm.
There's another thing. I don't know if it's really a skill, but I always feel like in JRPGs, I manage. I guess it's just inventory management in general. I said it about survival horror, but I kind of take that concept into JRPGs where I save all my cash. I never like buy weapons and armor when I get to a town, and I just kind of keep my old stuff. Yeah, and then like I'll just kind of like not really grind, but I'll kind of like work on some lower enemies, like level up and like make my crap weapons viable for as long as possible and kind of ride that out. I don't really know.
Can I tell you something crazy, Huber? In the credits for Horizon Zero Dawn, there are two people who were credited for progression and economy.
Yes, I saw that. I specifically remembering that title stand out when I saw the credits. I was like, oh, look at that. Huber will love that.
Who's that person?
There are two people. Their job was to design the progression and economy of Horizon Zero Dawn. How cool is that?
Very cool.
Legitimately, it took me a while to buy everything I wanted in that game. There were definitely some materials that I was not like swimming in. Like there were a couple things. I'm like, God, I'm out of wire again.
Yeah, I feel like the metal is pretty well balanced so far. Like the main resource to like
metal scraps,
because you use it to upgrade your pouches and buy the weapons. And
it's the closest thing to rupees. It's like
that's
currency.
really cool.
Yeah.
And speaking of rupees, like I just recently started finding rupees in Zelda.
Don't you do spoilers, Blood! Don't you do them! Don't you do them! We should move on. No, any more skills? I like that question. I think that was a cool question.
I have one. Tempering expectations. It's like I
That's
find
a skill to have, Jones?
well for something like. Yeah, well, for something like a Galaxy of Heroes, like I enjoy that, and I see people get burnt out and they're angry, and it's like you didn't see that coming, like, you didn't know, you know what I mean? I'm always surprised when people play a game that's like, something like a Monster Hunter or like an MMO or something that's like a slog, like this is a game you're supposed like Pokemon Go, people that like a week after Pokemon Go came out were like, I'm done. Yeah. It's like. The moment you opened that game, you couldn't kind of sense the trajectory of how much you would be interested for the certain amount of time.
Jones, I don't have that skill. I'll tell you, I don't have that skill. I do have a new one. And it's in reference to the PlayStation Plus game of the month, Tearaway Unfolded. Arts and crafts, play in. You're asked to design things, and I'm like, oh, baby. And you just cut little things out of construction paper and make a crown, and I'm like, I want my crown to look good. I think most people playing the game would just do a zigzag and like throw some stones on it. But every single time that I had that opportunity, I'm like, I want to make a cool tattoo. I'm just like an idiot when it came to that. But the stuff in the game looked cool because I have that weird little arts and crafts skill.
Yeah.
Dig it.
Nice.
Except that blank sun. How depressing is that?
I'd say that's just. I would just generalize that to creativity, Kyle.
Okay.
Like Mario Maker and stuff, you're good at that stuff. Just being creative.
But I think a big part of it, Huber, is just doing it a bunch. I think if you just cut construction paper every single day, eventually you'll be really good at it.
Right.
I don't know, man.
You would, Huber.
I'm pretty bad at that
Commit
stuff.
yourself. Commit yourself.
Put it on your
now.
backlog, Huber. Do your crunches.
Those laser puzzles.
Okay, one last question. Here we go. Good afternoon, allies. It's not afternoon for us any longer. Talking to all of the allies at the meet and greet last year about how the moment when they knew when to get into the gaming industry as a job motivated and inspired me to finally create content. Thank you. Thank you, Huber, for your incredible enthusiasm. Thank you, Blood, for your humbleness. Thank you, Bossman, for your skepticism. Whoa. Thank you, Jones, for your intricate editing skills that I look up to. I thoroughly enjoyed your audio editing of Dragon Quest Builders. Muchos gracias.
Thank you. Did they just call the panel? How'd that happen?
Oh, because sometimes I do that. I say, here's going to be on the podcast this week.
Oh.
Jones, you're like, oh,
Blown away.
Right ahead.
It's like, whoa, that worked.
Clairvoyant.
Thank you, love and respect, Irvin. I pulled that one because we do that a lot. People say, hey, how can I do what you want to do? And I just say, make stuff. Irvin's doing it.
Yes.
Making stuff.
Nice.
It's great.
Yeah, and so I wanted to celebrate somebody going out and doing that.
Awesome. Well
Make
done,
stuff.
Ruben.
Now keep doing it.
Am I skeptical?
I would say
Thank-
cautiously
Thank you, Kyle, for your skepticism. Whoa.
cautiously optimistic / pessimistic.
Huh.
You're
About
cautious. You're a
most
cautious
things.
person.
Yeah.
There are some things that you're, Pokemon, I wouldn't say you're skeptical about.
Oh, I am.
Like you're down.
Oh,
well,
boy,
some
am I ever-
some Pokemon products, yeah.
Jones.
I don't know.
You skeptical about Pokemon
You know what-
Stars?
you wanna know
Are
why
you
you're not?
skeptical, Kyle?
No, if I had to be a reviewer, I'd give that game like 2 stars.
Want to know why you're not skeptical?
Why?
Because you take the time and the courage to media blackout. That's pure hype. That's pure
pure hype.
optimism.
That's pure hype.
You media blackout something, you're optimistic.
You know what? I think I was equating cynical to skeptical. I think you can be skeptical without being cynical.
Yeah.
Okay. I won't take that harshly. Irvin, making stuff. Make stuff. Cut your construction paper every day. Eventually you will make really cool stuff with construction paper. Just same with videos. Same thing. It is now time for bets. Next week's bet. Styx, Shards of Darkness comes out on March 14th, 2017.
Too many games.
Sequel to Styx. Yeah, too many great games. I don't want to be mean to Styx. We were watching the trailer.
Co-op now.
This game's got co-op.
Yeah, watch that co-op trailer. Hype.
So what we're going to do is we're going to Focus Home Interactive, the publisher of this game. By the way, it's getting physical copies getting made of this game. How many words in the most recent comment of the most recent most recent video posted to Focus Home Interactive's official YouTube page, how many words will be in the most recent comment on the most recent video for Styx, Shards of Darkness? Brandon Jones.
12.
And you know what?
12.
Listeners can't really appreciate that. I like that too.
12.
Jones, that's a good looking too. I mean, a little scratchy near the end.
Yeah,
but
the end is a little
good form nonetheless.
calligraphy.
Looks like a snake.
Got a
With
snipper
little
clip the end there.
tail.
You gotta
Yeah.
snip that off.
Rattlesnake.
Return of the Snakes. Daniel Bloodworth.
37.
Oh.
37 words.
Ah, yeah,
That's a comment.
That's a comment.
Gotta keep my Black Sails tradition up.
What's that?
14.
Okay, he's written those in Roman numerals, just in case you were a listener wondering what that meant.
XIV.
Is that a Black Sails thing? What do you mean?
Before every episode, the episode number in Roman
Oh,
numerals.
nice.
Final season, 4 episodes left. Catch up if you haven't.
And my bet is 11 words. Jones, we're real close again. We're real close again.
But we got the low.
We
So
do
if
have the
it's just
law.
like, whatever.
Yeah.
Caca.
And by the way, hey, come on. If you're a listener of this podcast, don't put a comment on that video.
Well, there's no way to be sure.
There's no way to be sure, which is nice, I guess.
We fluctuate with this. This
But
is
they
a
also
late
aren't
podcast.
going to know when we're going to be looking at that exactly.
Yeah, you're not sure when we're going to shoot this. So
Yeah.
we shoot it Tuesday nights.
Yeah.
Sometimes we shoot it at 9. Sometimes we shoot it at 10.
What I like is, and we'll get to this, the Super Bomberman R one was how many reviews? Some people are tweeting at me just like, look at how funny this is. A bunch of people are mentioning Easy Allies. When I checked it this morning, they were gone. I think Amazon actually, like, if you're just like, I'm only here for Easy Allies, they'll take you off.
Whoa.
Isn't that crazy? So I guess it doesn't work for Amazon. It would totally work on YouTube. You can manipulate it. I'm simply asking
Were
you
they
not to.
like not legitimately reviews?
Right.
Wild West on there.
I think
YouTube.
someone was actually like, the graphics are fine, whatever. I'm here for Easy Allies. But even then, Amazon's like, nah, get out of here. Get flagged. Yep.
Number?
Huber, why don't you go ahead and bring it up while I explain what last week's bet was. It was about Super Bomberman R, which was released last Friday. Mm-hmm. At this point, how many customer reviews will it have on Amazon.com? Jonesy bet 18, Damiani bet 25, Brad bet 250. I also bet 18. Huber, how many customer reviews are there for Super Bomberman R currently?
Currently.
Yep.
On Amazon. I'm going to give it one last refresh.
One last refresh.
There are 45
That is a win
customer reviews.
for Damiani.
Nice.
Damiani! Yes.
That brings our total to Purple Platypi 3, Red Eagles 7. Blood, you'll take those points, but we have a few things to cover first. Patreon plugs. Let's do that. Patreon.com/EasyAllies is what I'm talking about in particular, Jones.
Yeah.
It's a website you would go to if you would want to support Easy Allies.
You don't say.
I do.
What if I want to support Easy Allies? I'm not going to go to it. Am I going to go to patreon.com/Easy Allies? It's going to be all yelling at me like I gotta give money. Can I just enjoy it without giving money? Can I just?
You absolutely
Is that a web page
can.
I can just peruse and read and watch stuff?
Sure. EasyAllies.com.
Oh, okay.
And what's cool about EasyAllies.com is all our stuff is posted on YouTube. It's just highly organized on EasyAllies.com. You have the schedule, so you see all the stuff that's coming out this week, and also all the live streams, and all of the videos are just well organized there.
Very well organized.
You could go to YouTube.com/EasyAllies.
Organized by show. Mm-hmm. Got Ian's show, my show.
Yeah, you don't even need to subscribe to us on YouTube because the website is so
Yeah,
good.
you do. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
Oh man, you do. Thanks for bringing that up.
Why?
Well, in a couple weeks we will be a year old, and I would just love it. I normally do not do this. Be like just for the old Jonesy. Mm-hmm. If you could sub if you have not yet. We're so close to 100,000, and that would just be magical if we could hit that by our 1 year anniversary. So
YouTube,
we're less than 3,000 subs
thing,
away,
don't they? They send you a button.
Yeah. So
For 100,000?
Yeah.
A button.
A button.
Is it
no
a tier?
clip is almost at 100K.
Yeah.
Can't let Danny O'Dwyer beat us.
Yeah, we can. Please.
Yeah.
Started his after ours.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. Like his documentaries are very good.
They're amazing. I love
Yeah.
the guy.
Yeah.
I'll tell it to his face. Take you down, O'Dwyer.
I'm kind of rooting for Danny O'Dwyer on this one. But the thing is, neither he nor I or us really rely on the YouTube stuff.
Yes.
You know, because we have Patreon supporting us.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah, that Zelda review, we got
yeah.
no ad money off of that.
sad to
Right.
say,
Yeah,
it
exactly.
is a status thing.
Yeah.
If you are a YouTube channel, if you were doing anything in the gaming industry and you have a YouTube channel, when you hit that 6 figures, it opens doors. So
So so Brandon can have that status.
yeah.
You can be on those backdoor
So I can-
Yeah, what-
shady deals.
So when
gotta-
I
you
take
gotta
Sophie
tell
on a
us
walk,
to
I can have
open
the button with me, and it just,
No, tell us what doors open. What do you mean by that?
Palms.
there are some conventions that you cannot get into unless you have at least 100,000. We are a YouTube channel now.
Yes.
Before we were a website. We are not. We have a website, but we are not that website anymore. We are a successful Patreon and we have several YouTube channels, but primarily Easy Allies is our main flagship channel.
We got into E3 last year because they were being nice.
Basically.
through the graciousness of
Yes.
of people that
And Damiani, like, finding the contact.
Did some sweet talking for us.
Sleuthing.
Little
Sleuthing up
sleuthing.
a contact.
Enjoy some sleuthing from Michael Damiani. So yeah, those are the main things to promote Easy Allies. Yeah, we're a group of people. We're not just the 4 of us. If this is your first time ever listening, there are 9 Easy Allies, and we all love video games. We make videos and live streams about video games quite passionately.
in a pretty darn kick-ass community. So
Oh, absolutely.
get up in that too.
Read the comments on this video.
Wow, all these people are nice. Look at that. No, I just
Probably a
invited
lot
somebody
of
to leave a nasty comment.
Lord of the Rings lore being dropped.
Probably a lot of
goodness.
that in the comments. Yeah.
Did
Maybe
you
I was.
ever read the Odyssey or did no?
Let's check in on goals. Huber, how'd you do on your goal?
We brought up Shenmue.
Great.
Yeah.
Blood, how'd you do on your goal?
Yeah, brought up the GDC talks.
Jones, how'd you do on your goal?
I was shut down, but I gave you one. You didn't say many funny
You
funny
gave
things.
it to Bloodworth is the thing.
Okay. Bloodworth was funnier than you were, I guess.
Oh my gosh. I accomplished my goal.
I was hanging on this mic waiting for a joke. I was no. You're very serious. I'm not saying you have to do a joke in every podcast, but I picked the wrong goal. Clearly,
Be funny, Kyle.
Wow.
Kyle told no jokes in the whole podcast.
that might be good for us. You know. That might be where we want to be.
Okay, no, I mean, that next podcast, my goal is going to be tell a joke for Jones. Last thing I wanted to remark on before I hand the microphone over to Bloodworth is that this is the 50th episode of the Easy Allies podcast. That's a pretty big deal. It's not 100. 50 is pretty good.
It's a milestone.
Yeah.
Good job, Kyle. Oh, you put the show together mostly.
Good job, Jones.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Good job, Huber and Blood, for being on 1/4 of those. What I wanted to do, not like a hugely special thing, is I wanted to put a tag at the end. You remember at the end of GT time, it used to be Jones going, I love the Xbox. I love having things like that. I think that actually makes podcasts stronger. The thing is, for the Easy Allies, I didn't want to force it. I didn't want to just have Jones saying, like, I love something embarrassing. That's more of a GT time thing. I wanted to find something that's ours and that we can own. And I think I found something. So to celebrate the 50th, at the end of this podcast, you will hear the new tag. Please enjoy it. That's how we're celebrating our 50th episode.
Very cool.
That's not the permanent tag. It can evolve based on if something happens.
It will mostly, as they did on GT time. I love evolving them as well. But yeah, I just like a little thing at the end that you look forward to hearing. Daniel Bloodworth, because you are sitting in the seat of bet winner Bradley Ellis, Damiani. Brad said 250. Yeah. Brad, he boned it.
Yeah.
Ultimate's
just getting up in your head.
So Damiani won the bet. So you're sitting in his seat. You get the right and responsibility to share your Twitter handle. You get to promote any Easy Allies video you would like to promote. You get the final word on anything you disagreed with or would like to reiterate. And you get to sign off with a trademark sign off. Take it away, Blood.
My Twitter handle is @dbloodworth2. And for a video, this has actually been a pretty good week because since August, I have been playing Earthbound on streams for the first time, and this week I finished Earthbound.
Yeah.
How many parts is that?
15 parts.
Whoa, that's a playthrough.
Yeah.
That game is incredible.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is,
missed that game.
Wow. It is very forward-thinking in its battle design.
Forward-thinking.
Yeah.
It's extremely funny. It's constantly throwing stuff at you don't expect. There's so much music that I looked. I was asking people for like soundtrack links. Somebody sent me a soundtrack link, and I looked through this and like, there's like 20-something tracks on this, and like half of what I want is not on there. And the backgrounds, just the super level of creativity in all of the areas and enemy designs, like that is a just wonderful classic game.
I think if I had played that game when it came out, it would have had a profound impact on my personality.
Jones.
Yeah. I think it would have shaped my sense of humor. Because I'm trying to think back then, it's like Monkey Island is like the only game I can remember being funny. Like Leisure Suit Larry. It's like every now and then I would play something that was like, haha, that's funny. Whereas like this game destroyed me. Like it was just hilarious.
Yeah, and
so
like
original.
there is a reason that game came with a guide on the Super NES. Like stuff is a bit obscure in terms of like, why do I have so many different items and ketchup packets and weird stuff like that? But chat was there to guide me through, to like, okay, do I need this slingshot? It's like, no, never use this slingshot. Use a baseball bat.
That's nice. It's good to have that friend. Absolutely.
Yeah. Or like, when Jeff gets to this IQ level, like he can repair this item. Like, cool, sweet. So those things were great, and we avoided spoiling really throughout, just like mechanical things. But yeah, you can go to youtube.com/EasyAlliesPlays, which is where all of our streams go to live forever.
Nice promo.
And we'll have a whole pile of new stuff in there by the time you see this. So just if you scroll down on that channel page, there's a section for full playthroughs, and it'll be towards the top of that. And then for the final word, I'll just say, yeah, it's time for the Wii U to die and the Switch to live, and I have no regrets about Nintendo cutting that thing off. And let's live in a new era. That thing is 100% improvement on the Wii U hardware-wise. So, and we'll see you before the next Blood Moon rises.
I am enjoying these microtransactions.